Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to episode 6 of Fortnightly Frontier, the show where we discuss just how much we don't know about Chris Roberts' upcoming mega game, Squadron 42, and its multiplayer part, Star Citizen. I am Darionator, and I am joined as always by my lovely assistant, Loose Unit, also known as Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
So, episode 6.
That's the worst dad joke ever.
It's the worst dad joke ever.
Anyway, carry on. Episode 6.
Episode 6. Who would have thought?
Not me? Don't know.
I thought that we'd just lose interest after 3 and just it would be another short-lived project on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, we made
It still has the potential to be another short-lived project on YouTube, but who knows? Maybe things will be different this time.
Yes, maybe. Here's my t-shirt.
What is that?
It's a t-shirt.
Yes, I know it's a t-shirt. But what's emblazoned on the front?
It's a Van Gogh's Starry Night with Firefly in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love that shirt. Love that shirt.
Yes. Right. We're
So-
digressing.
We are digressing.
Once
Onwards
again.
with the news.
The hyper news today. 41 million in crowdfunding funding has been reached. Well, actually, not yet. There's still $25,360 to go at the time of recording this, but within the next hour or two, it will be completed. So we'll have 41 million and get the stretch goals, etc.
So look for Chris Roberts' letter about it on the website. Should prove informative.
Yes, exactly. It's called Letter from the Chairman. 41 million something. Star Citizen Store now has new patches. Not software patches, the patches you stick onto your
Jackets.
jackets and stuff.
If you have such a jackets, yes.
Yes. Check them out if you're interested. Means you can put them on whatever t-shirt or jacket or whatever you get. Or motorbike. Yeah, that would be cool. Motorbike jacket. Star Citizen.
Oh yeah.
I ride my Harley Star Citizen.
I should buy a motorbike.
Wingman's Hangar episodes 61 and 62 have been released, and 63 will be released 1 hour after this video has aired or has become available on YouTube to a subscriber.
And do be sure to check those out because they contain a lot of other news and information that we're just unable to cram into our little podcast, and we only talk about stuff that's interesting to us. It's not a recap of everything that's going on in Star Citizen universe.
Yeah.
That's what that's what Wingman's Hangar is.
You had beer.
I've had beer.
The next generation Starship is on hiatus, so there's not really that anymore. They've replaced it kind of with the dogfighting preview. What's it called?
I have no idea.
Something. They've replaced it with something, so they're previewing and going over the dogfighting module and stuff. It's kind of a lot better than next generation Starship from my perspective anyway. As you might know, I don't like it that much, but
I don't... There's the new guy that I hate.
okay.
You know, the reality show guy?
I don't find him too bad. He brings a different perspective to it, which is kind of nice.
Yes, yeah, but he's... Everything that's wrong with the reality show is just filler to get because they know they don't have enough material to fill the time slot, so they have to fill it with 50 to 75% of bullshit. He just repeats everything that other people have said and asks stupid questions that everybody already knows the answer to.
Actually, I thought the interview he did with Chris Roberts was really, really good. It was good because it asked a lot of questions, not about what's happening in the game. It asked a lot of questions about Chris Roberts himself and what it's like to be Chris Roberts and what it's like to work for Chris Roberts as Chris Roberts. And I thought that was kind of interesting. You never really get that with the current crowd. They tend to ask, when do we get the dogfighting module? When is this coming out?
Yes, they ask the pertinent questions.
Yeah, but I think we're all invested in this now, so we can kind of it's kind of interesting to hear something different for a change. Most people will actually know what's going on. But
if you say so.
I didn't think he did a great job of hosting on the show, but the questions he asked to Chris Roberts on the later show were quite interesting.
Onwards.
The people who backed Shroud of the Avatar got a crossbow. A special crossbow.
What's it like?
It is like a crossbow from the future.
Ooh.
But you had to back like $50 or something to Shroud of the Avatar to actually get the crossbow, so...
What is Shroud of the Avatar? I didn't even know about it.
Neither did I. I didn't even see it. I think it was from a while ago before I really got into Star Wars Citizen.
Okay.
And that's it for Hyper News. That was super fast and like just bang through everything, and we digressed several times. That's what happened.
And now for the major news. The major news of this past fortnight, and from my part, what I thought was most interesting was that the Idris Corvette is now the Idris Frigate. What happened was that the design team that made the Idris Corvette handed it over to the people in charge of Squadron 42, and they realized that it just wasn't big enough for the game, for what it was supposed to do. It's supposed to contain 3 Hornets, and
there's 1 or 2 ships, 1 or 2 support ships or whatever. They're in newly designed. They are service ships, so they just go out and work on the ship and that kind of thing.
Yes, and several support services, and they just realized that the Idris in its Corvette form was not big enough, so they've made it actually over 100 meters longer now.
Yeah.
In its final iteration.
Close
to final, yes. I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to final right up until the game is actually released.
Yeah.
But that's, game development. Good news for people who have bought the Idris Corvette. You will keep it, and it will be replaced by the frigate. And the Idris Corvette itself will be replaced at a little later date by another Corvette class ship.
Yeah. I actually read the name somewhere, but I can't recall it off the top of my head.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
They changed the design quite a bit, and I think it looks a lot meaner.
It does look very good.
A lot less.
I'm part of
more dope. So. Adrian has one.
Yeah, I'm a part owner in that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gonna be fun. Can I play? Can I come play?
No, maybe. We're gonna need people. So yes.
What about you? What did you think was the important bit of news in the past 2 weeks?
Well, I wouldn't really call it the most important bit of news, but it's not something that's completely new as a concept. But we're really able to. It talked in 10 for the Chairman in episode 13. I think we can link it below. And basically, you really can control the economic nodes. So you can actually start to buy or capture these economic nodes that manufacture goods, and then you have to pay for suppliers to bring the supply in, and then you're actually going to take control of that, or your corporation is going to be able to take control of it, or organization is going to be able to do all of that. And that
control that part of the economy.
Control that part of the economy, and they can use that power to push up prices by dropping production down and that kind of stuff. And that is kind of where a lot of these big wars that you see in EVE are going to be fought over. Although we're probably never going to see the big scale that you see on EVE, where you've got thousands, tens of thousands of ships, just because.
Well, yes, it's going to be because it's going to be instance based.
Yeah, exactly. So it's obviously instance based because in EVE it's a mathematical calculation. You tell the ship to do something, and then the server does that calculation for you. So they can just it's a lot less taxing on the server side and the bandwidth side to do that. Whereas in Star Citizen they can't really slow it down, because then you're going to be flying your ship and just having to hold your stick back for 5 minutes while you rotate around, because the server can't keep up. So
yeah.
it's just not possible with the type of game that we got with Star Citizen, and that's okay because I want that type of game. I want the proper simulation type of game. But that's really
you can't do a proper simulation on a really large scale like Eve. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've seen some of those battles with hundreds of Titan class ships, and it's just mind-boggling what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And people who read about it say you read about it and you're like, that's amazing, and then it was like a 24-hour battle that actually was only over like 2 hours or something.
Yeah.
Of game time was 2 hours, but the real time was like 24 or 48 hours. Or they slowed it down to like 5% of the actual time in order for the service to be able to keep up.
But yeah, that's just spreadsheets fighting spreadsheets.
Yeah, exactly. Attack this ship next. Attack this ship next.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Eve, because it was just too much. Once I got to the point where the user interface was covering more than half of my screen, I realized that it's not really the game I want to be playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the final bit of news today, the dogfighting module is going to be revealed on the 11th of April and then released soon afterwards. But what does that mean, actually, soon afterwards? Is it going to be a few hours, few days, few weeks?
Few years.
Few years, yeah.
I would imagine it's probably going to be a few days. Well, I mean, it really depends on how stable they manage to get all the systems and stuff in that time.
Right. You remember how it was when they first released the hangar module? It was actually just a few days after they showcased it at, where was it? Was it at PAX again? It was some game.
Is it Gamescom in Cologne? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but they showed that it worked really nice, and they talked about how they even a few hours before the GameCon started, they were still compiling the client to showcase at the expo because they were so late in getting everything done, and still it was a bit buggy. But then they sorted it out in a few days, and we got the results, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're planning on taking time off from work to play it, I would say don't. I would say wait at least a week, because they're going to release it and they're going to have tested everything, but there will be problems. I'm really expecting some major issues to happen. Or it could be really smooth, but I mean, I wouldn't take the risk of taking time off work to play it.
Well, if a lot of people are in the same mind as you are, and they'll be waiting a few days, there'll be a lot fewer people on release day to stress the service.
No, I will be playing it immediately, as soon as I can. It's the first moment I can.
I will be glued to the computer.
Yeah, but I won't expect it to work. I won't expect it to be something that goes properly.
But I will be very surprised if it does.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it for us today, because the next great starship is on hiatus.
So we have nothing to talk about there. See you in a fortnight.
In the fortnight, and in the verse, because by then the dogfighting module will be out.
Oh. Wait, will it be? Will it be?
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Probably.
Bye!
Bye! Welcome to episode 6's Spacebar! A moment of silence.
For our fallen comrades.
And what are you drinking tonight, Mr. Rice?
I am drinking my standard brew, the F65 Stealth beer. Nothing experimental this time, but tune in next time, because I will be bringing something very special and we'll be trying it together.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr.
Me.
Joe?
Balmer's cider original. Actually, I'm a really big fan of cider, but it's quite hard to find here in Germany. And when I was living in the UK, it was really easy to get good cider, and here it's not. So I've just got the Balmer's original, because I felt like some cider, and I have poured it appropriately into a glass.
If you're a fan of cider, there is a. Do you know Recorderlig?
The what?
Recorderlig. It's a very good pear cider. That
Oh yes, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, and no, I don't like it.
And it's brewed in Germany.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
I
don't like
love
pear cider.
I love pear cider. I like it a lot more than apple cider.
Okay, that's interesting. No, I don't like it at all. I find it extremely sweet, and it just tastes like pears. Pears are okay, but...
I prefer pears more than apples, so...
Yeah, makes sense. Logic right there.
Yes, logic, yeah.
Yeah.
And what game are we talking about in today's Spacebar? Also, have you noticed that just adding the word space or star to something makes it a lot cooler? Star Citizen.
Spacebar Star Hyperdrive Warp. Did I go too far?
See, oh no, that was far too cool for our show. We have to tone it down, man.
Anyway, tonight, we digress. Tonight,
We digress.
Spacebar, we're talking about space engineers.
Oh, that makes me all fizzy in my nether regions just hearing about it.
What is it? I don't know.
Basically,
no, it is quite cool. Tell them what it is.
well, the thing is that neither Joe nor I have pledged for this game or bought into early access because I have been burned by early access indie games before, and I'm a bit wary about spending my money on more.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I looked at it; it looked quite
Especially
cool.
after spending so much money on Star Citizen.
Well, you haven't been burned by that yet, but we
haven't been
all
burned
might
yet,
have
no.
spent nearly $41 million on that by now. Who knows? Yeah, I really like the game.
I like the concept of the game.
Yeah, I liked it. I looked at it. I was actually keen on getting it, but
Well, what is it anyway? For those who don't know.
yeah, we should probably explain.
We should probably explain, yeah. You are a space engineer, you're given a platform, and you have to build a ship that
Yep.
can be any size or shape that you want, and then somebody crashes into you,
Yeah, basically.
basically. It's got physics, it's got destruction, what's it called, procedurally generated damage, etc. But from what I've seen, the physics engine isn't quite good yet, but it is early access.
I found it was kind of more interesting than a lot of this. It's kind of like Minecraft in space with physics.
Yeah, yep.
Minecraft in space with physics, and instead of just digging holes, you build a spaceship. I mean, you can build a house, but it doesn't move. You can't build a car or something unless you put some extreme mods on, or some mods on Minecraft. But it's kind of like that sort of open world, build what you want, how you want it, and there's a lot of cool stuff you can do in it. I saw some guy building
Crash
a big...
into other players. And, yeah.
I saw a guy building like the actual guns that come out of the ship and whatnot, and he had to build all of the mechanisms and the way it moved, and he had to build all that in, and then program it all.
Really complicated redstone mechanisms in Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. It was really cool, but I don't really want to put in a lot of time for that.
They're coming for you, Joe!
Damn it! How many episodes have we got through and they haven't gone past? Good thing it's in the spacebar.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been edited out.
Yep. Wait,
Anyway,
we're not going
the
to-
game shows promise. The concept is very interesting, but I'll wait for it to come out unless somebody's kind enough to donate something to our cause. No.
Yeah, it's
Donate to Joe. He's the poor one.
it's definitely it's definitely a cool game, but I just imagine that it's going to be an epic time suck.
Yeah.
It's going to be like,
And you're gone. Yep.
And you're 70 years old in an old folks' home talking about how this idiot crashed into you. Yes.
It's gonna be a fun game.
Maybe.
Hopefully,
We'll
it's
see.
the concept is too good for them to fuck it up.
Yeah, hopefully.
Mm.
Anyway, I think that's it
Anyway,
for the
that's-
spacebar, and that wraps up our episode for today.
See you in the bus.
See you in the verse. Don't forget to check out the previous episode of Fortnightly Frontier and the video of the fortnight. Also, look out for the Fortnightly Frontier dogfighting special, coming sometime after the release of the dogfighting module but before our next episode. See ya!